Welcome to the podcast, everybody.
Hopefully you had a day off yesterday. If not, we did, which is why there was no podcast.
Today, you're going to thrill to the U.S. Army's Guide to Falling Asleep Fast.
How can you fall asleep in less than 2 minutes?
They say Maggot? They have a way. Listen here, Maggot. You're going to bed because I told you to go to bed.
Because they're going to be yelling at you.
I can't fall asleep, Sarge. Where were we on that one?
I know. Don't miss that.
Well.
Right.
Well, you're going to find out how, Maggot. Also, we talk National Coffee Day, the Pixel 3, Die Hard 6, and 8K TV. The numbers keep going up. The Farmer's Almanac, gym class, and pumpkin spice frosted flakes. But I left the best for last.
For the pumpkin spice frosted flakes, you can actually watch us do that food fight. That taste test is available on our RadioU and RadioU Riot Facebook pages. So if you want to see what it's like in the studio, you can hang out with us there. That is posted for you.
I would like to recommend to all of you that you be on the listen for Buzz. You'll know it when you hear it.
We talk about the upcoming movie, the space movie.
I want you guys to listen for Nikki and Buzz.
A Buzz. You'll hear it. So.
That's what's important.
Don't forget, again, RadioU Riot on Facebook, RadioU Riot on YouTube, or you can email us anytime you want to, riot@radiou.com.
It's the Riot.
What's worse than finding grounds in your coffee? Finding grounds in your coffee while listening to the Riot. It's the worst of the Riot on RadioU.
I don't know why it's making its rounds so much, but I saw it all over der interwebs yesterday. And since you and I have both, all of us, you know we have. We woke up this morning and we're like, tonight's going to be different. Tonight we're going to go to bed early and get the sleep that we need.
It is. It's a new day for you, or a new night.
So the U.S. Army apparently came up with what they call their way for soldiers to fall asleep. They were concerned about the ability of soldiers to get sleep, whether they were in the field or whatever, because it's actually fascinating. I read about this in another book. Like, one of the most the biggest things that you've got to do with an army is that you've got to keep them rested enough to fight, but also move them. And so it's like you've got to march them so far, but then they also have to have time to rest so that when they get wherever they're marching, they can fight, and et cetera, et cetera. Well, there is apparently a United States military method for pilots to get to sleep in 2 minutes.
What is it? Is it a miracle cure?
So they say that it has after 6 weeks of practice, it is a 96% success rate.
What is it,
to
though?
get
What
people
do
to
you do?
fall asleep in 120 seconds.
Do you count?
Here we go. It is a 5-step process. Number 1, relax your face.
Okay.
Including your tongue and the muscles.
Wait, not yet.
Okay, and the muscles around your eyes.
Sure.
Step 2, drop your shoulders as low as they can go.
Okay.
Then relax your upper and lower arm on one side and then the other. Breathe out and relax your chest. Step 4, relax your legs from thighs to calves. Step 5, when your mind is clear, try to picture one of the following images. Lying in a canoe on a calm lake. Nothing but blue sky above you. Snuggled in a black velvet...
It does make you tired, doesn't it?
How about this one? Being snuggled in a black velvet hammock in a pitch black room.
What is that?
Saying don't think, don't think, don't think over and over again for 10 seconds.
Really?
Yep.
What weird methods.
So that was a 5-step process that they say after 6 weeks of practicing
should get you.
Can put you to sleep in 2 minutes or less.
But so, okay, well, you lay down and then you start that process, right?
Right, yeah.
So you get comfortable in bed.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't know if you could just test it this way.
You mean maybe where you're at right now?
Oh, she fell over. She fell asleep. It worked.
No. Well, I mean, I suppose you could be sitting up. It's really just a matter of being able to relax. They said it was for pilots, so maybe it was something they needed to be able to sleep
anywhere, any place, any time.
Behind the wheel. But of course,
see, I don't do well when I'm being pressured into I know that I need to fall asleep, and now I'm being pressured. So because I know this is a trick that they use to go to sleep, in my mind, I'm just thinking, well, is it going to work for you? Or what are we doing wrong? You couldn't even do this right. And then you're just, again, pressured to not sleep.
Dude, I
you
think
just sit there counting planes.
needing to get some sleep is the worst way to get sleep.
You just can't.
Because you're just like, I gotta sleep. I can't.
Like, oh no, I passed 2 minutes. I should have been asleep by now.
That's real. That is.
So I almost wish I wouldn't have known all the details and could have just tried.
Well, Nikki, there was a 5-step process, and it was supposed to help you calm the body, which will also calm the mind,
which causes pressure. So, someone try it. Let us know if it works for you.
I'll tell you what,
might take up to it could take some time to start working.
Train your body.
Yeah.
Though I'll just tell you right now, I could be asleep in 2 minutes. Don't be afraid. I've got this.
You could just lay on the floor right there,
No
and you
problem.
won't have to do anything.
No problem. I won't even have to do their velvet canopy black room.
They come to you. They're like, please, Obi, will you train our pilots?
Teach us.
Teach us your ways.
How do you do this? Well, it starts by not sleeping.
You've got to hand it to Obadiah and Nikki. Anyone can eat junk food all day.
Where's my food?
But they've figured out a way to get paid for it. The Riot on Radio U.
So I want to say hi to Chris. Chris hit me up on Twitter over the weekend, and I did something I've never done. I took a request on Twitter. You're like, but Obadiah, you always take requests for songs on Twitter. Nope, wasn't it. Chris, he hit me up on Twitter over the weekend. Here's what he said. Obadiah, you've got to see A Quiet Place and come back Tuesday to give your take. I was hesitant, but loved it, even bought it recently, and I never buy movies.
You guys are making movie requests?
Chris made a movie request.
All right.
And you know what's even weirder? I watched it.
You did?
I just hit it back, and I was like, I don't know if I'll get to it this weekend, but I'm going to watch it on your recommendation. And I did.
You made time?
It's weird. I picked it up in some sale for $2, which was ridiculous. And I just was like, all right, let's do this. Popped it in. And I finally watched A Quiet Place over the weekend. And it's really good.
Is it?
It is very good. It is.
Is it so good because it was so easy, just at home for a discounted price? Or do you think it would have been good as in the theaters?
It probably would have been better in the theater, actually, because I would not have been able to. At one point, something happened. I had to pause it and take a 20-minute break, which was too bad because it broke some of the tension. But I mean, there was nothing I could do about it. I had to go help a friend of mine, so it was like, well, all right. But it really was good, and the funny thing about it is people kept talking about how scary it was, and it's not like it was more. It was tense.
Yeah, suspenseful.
Yeah, and it was incredibly well done. I mean, I felt like the first half was better than the second half. The second half, it was just all right. I know where this is going, you can kind of see the hallmarks of it, but everything was layered in really well. It built really well. It was well paced, very much visual storytelling because there's very little sound in the movie. And that made it even more fascinating because you were just watching what was going on. And so,
well, feel free to put your movie requests in now.
Yeah, sure. Just go ahead and tweet them at me.
If you're something where you're like, I cannot believe one of them has not seen it. If you request it, we might just watch it.
You never know. Have you seen it yet?
No, I haven't.
Okay. I think you would like it.
I'm sure.
It was good.
Did you watch Jack Ryan then?
I watched an episode of it. I was not for whatever reason, I just wasn't really in the mood for it. And here's the thing. If they had not been dropping the F-bomb constantly, you could have told me Jack Ryan was on CBS.
Yeah.
I just felt like
was it trying too hard?
I felt like it talked down to me, and I also felt CBS shows have a really big budget, but they have a really big budget in a very specific way. They have this look that is so specific and generic. It is generically expensive.
Sure.
It lacks.
They all have the same look to them.
Yes, and that's how I felt watching Jack Ryan. It was just this looks exactly like something I would see on CBS. Now I don't know if it is, but I looked and it was a Paramount Studios production. Paramount is owned by Viacom, who also owns CBS. So you have to wonder if it's the same production
house. Some of the
house.
sets or crew or design.
But Admiral Greer dropped the F-bomb enough to make sure I knew I was not
serious?
watching CBS, Nikki.
You were not.
This is on Amazon, guys.
Leftovers from the most disgusting meal you've ever had. It's the worst of the riot on Radio U.
Nikki, I forgot to brag about myself for a second, so
Well,
let's just
come on up to the mic. Let's take a moment.
let's go ahead and take a minute and brag. You know, I told you I was an extreme couponer now.
Oh, you were?
Yeah.
You got that great deal on A Quiet Place.
Well, that's what I want to brag about for just a minute, guys. I want to brag about my weekend movie expenditures. And again, I know a lot of you think, like, he's just always spending money like crazy.
Games, movie, entertainment.
All right, but are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. I watched A Quiet Place, and I watched Upgrade, the movie about the guy that he, like, loses. He becomes a quadriplegic, but then he gets the chip
the
implanted.
thing? Yes, all right.
Okay, I watched that. Grand total spent this weekend, $2.34.
Why did you do that?
$2.34.
Oh, my goodness. Stealing the deals.
Extreme coupons.
You are.
Extreme coupons.
Now, was it just on sale, or did you actually have to do something with that?
Oh, man, I was dropping promo codes like it was my job. J-O-B job.
In fact, try that code. It might get you something.
You never know. It might. So
Did you mean to, or is it just working out that way?
Nikki, when you're an extreme couponer like I am, of course you mean to. I mean, you might accidentally fall into a deal, but that doesn't mean you were not intentionally dealing.
No, I didn't know, like, were you going after those movies anyways to find them, and you just happened, like, they were having a Labor Day sale or something? Mm-hmm. Or did you find a code somewhere else?
It was a little bit of both.
A little bit of both.
Like, I mean, the Quiet Place code I found through a deal site.
I'm feeling TLC. You know, they have that coupon show
I'm
stuff.
telling you right now.
You can come in and be like extreme digital couponing.
Extreme movies on the cheap. That's my new show, Movies on the Cheap. That's what it's called. And so, like, I help you get your movies on the cheap.
It'd be a hard show to produce, though, because the codes are so time sensitive.
They're very time sensitive.
So,
it might have to be a live broadcast.
It might have to be like a Facebook Live event, because I'm not sure the turnaround thing, how that'd be possible.
It might have to be live, but I can just tell you right now that
Good
I
job.
break $2.34.
And you feel like that was just enough, or was that too much, or really a good deal?
Oh, I felt like I got an amazing deal. Like, just great. Like, that's some brag-worthy stuff. And I forgot to brag about it
And
in my
now
extreme
you can.
couponing. I wanted to make sure I did it.
Did you watch Upgrade?
Yeah, I watched
Was it good?
Yes, it is not the movie that you think it is.
Oh.
They sell one movie. It is a different movie. I thought it was still... It's really good. There are a couple of scenes of what I'm just going to call very graphic violence that, again... You will not know it's coming.
But once it's there, you'll really know it's there.
I did not know that about the movie. I didn't know, and
I didn't think it was so intense.
I was watching it by myself. I'm just in my basement. I've got it on, and something happens, and I was literally like, "Oh my gosh! Oh!"
Neighbors were like, "Are you okay?"
I was screaming, and then I started laughing because that is my reaction to
That's his coping mechanism.
things like that. I mean, there was something that happened where I was just like, "What is happening? What? Oh no, you can't do that!"
But with such
You're
a good
not
price
allowed to
that you
do
bought
that.
it's great.
Well, I didn't buy it. That was a rental.
Oh, it was a rental? Okay.
Yeah, that was a rental. But oh my gosh, just telling you, if you're going into it like, "Oh, I'm sure it's nice," it is not. It is gross.
Inviting your mom over.
Mom, want to watch Upgrade? It's about a man.
We talk about it.
He goes through a difficult time where he loses the loss of his limbs, but through technology he overcomes. I think it's a real triumph in adversity kind of thing.
Come on over.
You guys want to come and watch it?
Yeah, and then be shocked.
You know, he loses his wife, so it's very emotional for him, and you find yourself wondering, will he ever love again? Is he going to fall in love with a police detective? Or
You should tell your mom. It's like, it feels like a Lifetime movie.
I think
a Lifetime Christmas movie.
where you see a man's jaw get, well...
Don't spoil it.
Spoilers, I
Come
won't say
on,
it.
don't spoil it.
Oh, I'm sorry. I just thought of that. It's pretty early for thoughts like that.
Think Obadiah owns too many video games?
Get us out of here! Roger that!
Well, maybe you'll think differently when... Okay, you're right. There's no conceivable scenario where anyone needs that many. The Riot on Radio U.
I heard Nick talking about National Coffee Day.
Is that today? Or?
No, it's not. That's the part that was confusing about it to me, because National Coffee Day is actually September 29th. Saturday.
Well, maybe that it's coming up this month.
So we just got to get ready for it.
Could be.
Mm-hmm. So just to get ready for it, I'm looking here at the suggested 3 activities of National Coffee Day.
Which, again, it's not today.
It's not today.
In case you're like, well, I gotta go early now. Like, I have to go get coffee.
It's not today. It's coming up on September 29th. Now, you can go early. I went today. I got Starbucks again because I keep letting them bleed me dry on there. I just need to buy a bag of that stupid veranda coffee and make it at home.
It.
I do. I like it. Okay, so they say grab a coffee at one of America's many cafes right here. I did that. I did it.
Yeah.
So I'm already September 29th is
You're
happening.
ready.
Check it off the list. Number 2, experiment with a new brewing method. Now, I like the idea of that. Something that I keep thinking about, which I never do, but I want to get a French press.
Yeah, I think you should.
I like French press coffee. So
don't we have one here? Or
Hudson does. I mean, that's not technically for everyone.
Do you feel like if you asked him, you could borrow it in the morning and try it out?
I'm sure that he would allow me to use it.
Like, I don't think he'll notice. Like, someone's been using my French press.
I don't think he would care. So that or Chemex, which I do know that that's something that Chris does. He's got a Chemex brewer at home.
Now, Kristen was kind enough to text that National Coffee Day is every day.
Oh,
good point on that. Officially, though, it's later this month.
You know what, Kristen? You're right. You're right. Who am I to limit it like that? How can I limit it like that? And then surprise someone with coffee. That's the third way to celebrate National Coffee Day, is to bring coffee to a friend, a coworker, since we know they can't be the same.
Well, the problem is you said the 29th, right?
Yeah.
That's a Saturday this month.
Well, you still work on Saturdays. It's fun.
Are
sometimes.
we all going to get together and share coffee? Or are we going to, in honor, celebrate it the day before?
On the 29th? No.
Okay, that's what I thought.
We're not getting together. Forget about it.
So, all right. Well, it is a busy month, though. It seems like there's lots of national days.
Mm-hmm. Here's the 3 things they say why we love National Coffee Day. It's a ritual that adds structure to your day. You can find coffee anytime, anywhere. There's something to that. And coffee is good for your brain. That's what they say. It's also the only thing that keeps me alive in here. It's the only thing that
honesty, that's too much honesty.
Too much.
Too much.
Tiger Drive.
I mean, you'd make it. You just wouldn't be happy.
And I say I can't. Just me trying to think of what to say about there not being coffee is so much that I literally, my brain shut down.
You're hearing it for the first time, and it sounds terrible.
It's the worst of the riot on Radio U.
So I got to spend the weekend with my new phone.
You did.
I got the Motorola G6. Yeah, there's a lot. They have a lot of phones out there with a lot of numbers.
And if you
a
get
lot of letters.
If you say a different one, it might actually still be another phone.
Yeah. Now, a lot of people ask me, they're like, hey, if you could have any phone and price wasn't a thing, what would you like to get? And the answer to that is I would like to have a Google Pixel. I love those phones. I think they're super cool.
A lot of people mentioned it. And there's a new one coming, I think, from the text messaging and the messages on Facebook.
In about a month from now, there's going to be a new Google Pixel. But here's what I love. Over the weekend, somebody who apparently works at or tests for Google, they left a Pixel 3 out in the wild. They left it in a lift.
Are we talking about like air quotes left it or like actually left it?
It seems like they actually left it in the car.
Accidentally?
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, if this is to be believed, Google's had several Pixel 3 leaks, and they weren't really going for that. So, this is literally a case. Remember that happened with the iPhone?
Yeah.
Where it was like an iPhone prototype got left at a bar, and Apple's like, we're going to sue you. And it's like, yeah, because you left it somewhere. I'm the one that's done something wrong.
Well, it depends on if you're doing something with it. I mean, if you're sending pictures out or going through it.
I don't know. You find a phone in a bar and you take it apart.
Why the long face?
It's not your fault.
You're not supposed to take it apart. It's not your phone.
You don't know that? You just found it.
Oh,
International salvage rights, Nikki.
Our decency laws. You don't
salvage
just go
rights.
through people's phones. It's not a shipwreck.
It is.
It's not.
It is. I'll tell you what. You should have seen him at the bar. Now, that was a shipwreck. Then they left their phone. It's salvage.
And then you can just go and get it.
So whoever the heck the driver was uploaded photos of it, but that was basically about it.
You must be such a fan, I feel like. I would just be like, yeah, it's some guy's phone. And I don't know if I would have caught, oh, it's the new upcoming Pixel 3. I'm taking pictures.
I can tell you right now, it would have not occurred to me to be like, I should quickly check the kind and volume. Because, man,
to see what this is.
Seriously, like Android phones, there's billions of them. So when you picked it up, to me, it would have just seemed like one more Android, not, I believe this to be the Pixel 3, which has not yet been released.
It's in the wild. Like, the chances are that you'd have a fanboy like it so much, be the one who's driving the car, happen to find it. I mean, that's just bad luck.
We should take it apart, or better yet, we should boot it up in developer mode and take a look at its specs.
So they got it back, though, or
you know
they're
what?
mad?
I don't think they have gotten it back yet.
Everybody wanted Obi to wait to get a Pixel 3, but then they didn't realize, Obi's phone shattered, and it wasn't his screen. Like, it was a screen, but it was a screen and the phone.
The phone itself, so I was phone-less.
And you can't just wait for the next one.
You got to have something. You got to have a phone. So, you know what? As I told you guys on Friday or Thursday or whenever I got it, I've got the Motorola Moto G6, and it's the cheap one, but I got a case on it. I got a screen protector. I like it.
It's good.
What did they say is the enemy of good is the enemy of great? Well, the Moto G6 is pretty good.
Just good enough.
It's the enemy of the Pixel.
Now, if you would have left that in a car, that's the phone where no one would be like, well, whatever.
They would have been like, look at this. Just throw it away.
I'm sure he doesn't even care about it.
He won't even come.
This must be his throwaway phone.
He won't even come looking for it. Just throw it away.
You remember that time you started your morning with a gas station breakfast sandwich and immediately regretted it? Yeah, it's like that. The Riot. RadioU.
Now, I want to see a show of hands. Everybody get ready to put your hand up if you thought what we really need next year is a new Die Hard movie.
Yeah. Hey, it's good you didn't put your hand up because you're driving, and it's safety first.
I'm going to need to see you put your hands up a little higher because right now I don't see any hands. So just all the way up, guys. All the way up.
Well, they want you to want a new Die Hard movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I don't know if that's going to happen.
They want you to want it.
They do.
They do.
They
You're
do.
right.
They want you to be interested and excited about it.
So first off, apparently we've got a title now for Die Hard 6.
Is this going to be Bruce Willis or is this going to be the new one? Like,
it's gonna be
Bruce Willis's character is old, so we got a new one.
It's called McClane.
McClane?
Yeah, because that's his last name. So, just like Logan, we're going to get McClane.
You got to say it in that tone.
Sure, it's going to be serious, right? So, no, originally the idea that they were pitching was like, oh, yeah, young John McClane, blah, blah, blah. Apparently, there will be an actor that will play a young John McClane, but the majority of the movie will be focused on
still Bruce Willis,
John
old
McClane.
one. Okay.
McClane, Die Hard 6. What if in this one he actually dies?
Maybe.
What do you
You
think?
hate to close the door that way.
Yeah, because I mean,
he can
what
just
if this
go to like retire?
What if this? I think he is retired from the New York Police Department. Of
Sure,
course.
but something drags him back in.
Yeah, every time he thinks he's out, they pull him back in. So I don't know. I have no idea what it's about. I watched the last Die Hard in theaters. It came out in January or might have been February.
One
actually.
of the J's.
But I'll tell you what it. The fact that that's when it came out clearly communicated what kind of a movie we were up for.
Is this in theaters, or do they think one of the streaming services might be a better fit?
It's coming to theaters. Like, no matter what, those Die Hard movies continue to make enough money.
Just enough.
Yeah. And this one's going to be directed by Len Wiseman. He's the guy that directed Die Hard 4, which is the one that everybody said was like too much because he was like hanging onto the back of a plane or something like that.
A little unbelievable.
So he's going to be directing this one, and they say it'll be both a sequel and a prequel. So McClane.
Coming sometime whenever that does come out.
Mm-hmm. It's just what you needed, Nikki.
Oh, I can't
more.
wait. Yeah, I love more Die Hard movies.
You need more Die Hard.
I
you
do,
really
and I like the one, the guy, Bruce Willis. Oh, yeah, just a fan.
He's your favorite.
Love him and what the franchise stands for. Just really behind it.
Okay, fantastic. Well, I'll pass it on to let him know that to go ahead and greenlight it.
Wait. My hand is up. I'm excited.
Oh, there it is. I knew we'd see a hand.
That was just me being kind.
Your morning, but without yelling, laughing, or music. music.
Don't deprive me of that.
We wouldn't dream of it. It's The Riot on Radio U.
I want to say hi to, is it, I'm going to guess Tina? Tine, Tine. How would you pronounce that, Nikki?
Oh, yeah, sure. We'll go with that.
All right. Well, she's on Twitter.
Miss T.
She says, this was from earlier this morning. I know it probably says more about me than anything, but I would have preferred to hear about what happened to that man's jaw over hearing the word coupon again.
Oh, and your earlier conversation?
Apparently, she doesn't like me to say it coupon. She wants me to say coupon.
Coupon?
Coupon is technically the correct pronunciation of that word.
So
coupon. Because you look at
not
it.
coupon?
That's correct.
Oh.
Coupon.
Well,
coupon.
I'm going to have to say coupon.
Yeah, I got to tell you right now. She says hashtag pet peeve. I hate the word. I hate when people pronounce it correctly. When I hear
hashtag pet peeve, what do we do here? We're in the middle.
When I hear people say coupon, I'm like, oh, come on.
Just stop it.
Get out.
Even though, how often do we have anybody say that word near us?
Do you think, it's coupon? Is it regional?
Coupon or coupon?
Yeah. Like, is that a...
No, I just thought everyone said coupon. I never hear anyone say coupon.
Let's see. Pronunciation. Yep.
But we don't run in that circle too much, so maybe that's something.
That's interesting. They say they're actually, depending on who you say or who you're checking in with, it is or is not regional. Some people are saying, no, it's not regional. It's just some people say it one way and some people say it another, but... Yeah, boy.
We just call it saving money.
I call it extreme
couponing because we're queuing up to save money. We're next in line.
That's just it. I guess I was raised in a coupon.
Listen,
home.
In case you're like, well, what did Obi do? He saved some money on a digital movie rental, so that was the extent of our extreme couponing.
But it was extreme.
It was. Or was it? Because
2 movies for $2.34. That is extreme.
Some people buy their entire grocery list for that amount.
Wow. Okay.
So I don't think we're doing it
I'm
right.
not that good.
We're not actually buying food with it.
I bought food, but you know what? If you want to know the truth, Nikki, yesterday while I watched, what was that?
Upgrade. Yeah.
Yeah. I had a Wendy's 4 for $4.
So
that's not exactly a coupon, but it still felt coupon-like.
Yeah, sure.
Because, 4 for $4, if they had totaled those up separately, because I got the double stack, it could have been over $6.
But
you
instead
it was
money.
It was only $4.
You're pretty good at it.
Yeah, I really
Hey, feel free to
seem
call
to know what I'm doing.
877-2-RADIO-U or text us or tweet
that was
at
on
us.
Twitter.
Because you could be getting some really good tips and coupons if you'd like something.
No, it's coupon.
Coupons.
Coop. What's up, Coop?
Can't do it. Can't do that one.
Let's get some coops.
Believe it or not, The Riot doesn't have an endorsement deal with Nabisco. They just keep talking about all the new Oreo flavors for free. It's The Riot on Radio U.
So, hey, when you had gym class, were you the first one picked or the last one picked?
Yeah.
Did you find yourself somewhere in the middle?
Depends on what we were picking for.
Yeah. Okay, that's fair. It's funny. There's some people that are doing some research on basically the impact on gym class as a kid and what it does to you as an adult. Now, of course, there are going to be a lot of people that are immediately jump up and be like, just a bunch of stupid snowflakes. I'll bet you were picked first. Or very near the front of the line. I'll bet that's true.
Or is all of our memories based on movies where in the movies you were never picked first? So or was it just fine in gym class?
I don't know. I can tell you this right now. They're talking about how they have a couple of standouts in this. It was research done by Iowa State University. They looked at adults between the ages of 18 and 45 from 46 different states. Now, I wouldn't say this is exactly a representative sample. It's only over 1,000. But one of the things that they found is that what ended up happening to you in gym class had some effect. Now, they're not saying it's causal, but they do say that people that are picked last in gym are most likely to be sedentary as an adult.
Oh, to not do stuff?
Mm-hmm. So what they're saying is, of course, you could argue they were picked last because they weren't athletes, so they have grown up to continue to not be physically active. And so the argument they're making in this paper is like, hey, one of the problems we have in this country is that people are not active enough. And so if we're finding that basically at a young age, we taught them that they were not athletes and to not participate, they've learned that lesson and carried it into adulthood.
So, like, say you liked basketball, but you were never picked, or you were picked towards the end, and then you've grown up, and, well, you could easily go outside and try to grab a game with people, even if you didn't know them, but you might not be willing to go out because you just have those feelings.
Yeah. I mean, I can tell you right now, I pretty much hate sports. Because it's just the idea of I was always terrible at it. I didn't play Little League. I didn't play
soccer?
this. I did in high school, but like when I was little, I didn't play.
And when it was more impactful?
And it's funny. Eric the other day said something. He's like, well, you're an athlete. And I was like, no, I'm not. Like, I literally was like.
Esports.
I took that as him insulting me. And then I was like.
It's like, wait a minute.
I was like, well, wait a minute. Like
But you work out and you lift.
I lift weights. I run. I mean, I guess. But, like, I don't consider myself athletic because I have
And you don't want the term put on you.
Oh, no, because it's just one of those things where, like, there was something inside me that was like, no, I'm not. Shut up. Don't make fun of me.
Whoa.
See?
Wow, yeah.
But see, Nikki, that's not
that
my
right
fault.
There, that's from whatever you went through.
That's gym class.
That's gym class coming out.
That's gym class happening right there. Last one picked. Whatever. It is funny to spend time with adults who were the people that were really athletic and are the first one picked, because can I tell you that they still walk around like winners?
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It is fascinating to watch. They're still just like, yeah, I can do anything. I'm the best at everything.
And the people who will notice that maybe we're not the ones picked
are the last ones picked.
Yeah, there you go.
It's cool.
Wow, that gym class stuff. That's something.
While you guys were getting good at bouncing balls, we were getting good at lobbing insults. So you can see how we ended up in different jobs.
First pick on that team. Someone's getting picked first.
Do you need someone to say something negative about something? I know a guy.
There's space for the captain of the team.
Turn it up loud enough and your neighbors will call the cops. Because it's obviously a cry for help. It's the worst of the riot on Radio U.
So I don't know if you caught over the weekend, everyone was talking about the 2019 Farmer's Almanac. Mm-hmm. They're saying in the Almanac
for 2019
that we're going to see a colder than usual winter. In parts of the country.
How was it last winter? I don't even remember.
I think they said colder than usual, but it seemed pretty normal to me.
Yeah, in fact, I don't feel like we've had in our area a really big winter in quite some time.
I agree with you. It has. I mean, there was it 2 or 3 years ago? It was so cold. Everybody was like, all right, we got to keep the sinks running so they don't freeze up.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
we had some of that, but we didn't have like big snowstorms or anything like that. Now, the other thing, we got very little snow last winter where we live, but that's all regional. So there were parts of the country that got buried in snow last winter.
That's true. It depends on where you're at.
And it's always interesting to hear people talk about the weather because they will say things like that, like, well, I guess what they're saying is true. I haven't had a lot of snow this winter.
But they just haven't gone one state over.
One state over, they're buried, man. All right? And then weather's funny. And people are like, man, it's cold outside. I can't believe how cold it is. Yeah, it's winter. That's the way it goes. Summer's the same way. Can't believe how hot it is. It's summer.
It's supposed to be.
I get it. I understand that we don't want it to be those things. I hate how hot it is. Yesterday, I got up, I crossed the street to talk to somebody. I walked back, I was sweating.
Yeah.
That's all I did. I just walked across the street and came back, and like my back was soaked with sweat. It was so hot.
It's like your clothes are burning.
And I don't like that.
I know you don't.
I don't like that.
It's too much. So, yes, the fact that the Almanac has been saying that
Almanac knows all.
This winter should be a little harder for everybody. But going back to it's practically Christmas, Julie in Pittsburgh.
He's like, okay, that's the news part. Can we talk about Christmas, though?
I want to acknowledge her text message started Christmas shopping this weekend, Julia in Pittsburgh. Thank you for listening, and thanks for being on top of things. Oh, yeah. She sounds like a person that's got lists.
Started Christmas shopping already.
Why not? Well, Labor Day sales.
Well, what did she buy?
She did not text me that. I do not know.
I want to know what she bought. Like, did you buy anything for us?
Well, are we on the list?
Are we on the list? Did we get something?
Well wishes, but that's about it.
I mean, it is practically Christmas, so you want to be ready for it.
Oh, I can't wait. Okay, let's do the fundraiser.
Okay.
Let's have a really good week next week, guys.
Okay,
Get RadioU
all right.
funded. Yes, you have Halloween, and then right on after, we're getting to where we need to be.
Then it'll practically be Christmas.
If Nikki sounds a little bored this morning, it's because Obadiah is still talking.
Too much talking, too much talking.
It's the Riot on RadioU.
Talking.
This is fantastic. So, you guys know that we have a long history of a great love of chicken fingers.
Yes,
And
we do.
As far as I'm concerned, you can't do much better than a chicken finger dipped in honey mustard.
And it's a good meal, you know? You're like, well, what do I want? Chicken fingers and fries. Like, it's really good.
Oh, it's good, Nikki.
It's a good combo.
Oh, you can get a combo.
You can.
You can. We can throw a soda in with that.
You can. So this sort of story kind of really begs the question, would we do this too?
Okay. So ESPN, was it yesterday? Maybe it was over the weekend. They do those bump shots of like, hey, here's people in the crowd. Here's people where. So in the middle of the U.S. Open, the tennis thing, they cut to a picture or a video of a woman dipping a chicken finger in soda and then eating the chicken finger.
So it went
like it was a dipping sauce.
It went quite viral online of people like, hey, are we going to talk about this? Like, is this something is it regional? Is it something people do? Do you dip your chicken finger in soda?
I need to know.
What is that?
What that is.
So down in the article, one of the commentators was saying, hey, the ketchup was all out at the stadium.
Okay, all right.
So is it something along those lines where there was nothing else to dip it in?
Like it absolutely has to have something wet
on it. I actually thought, well, maybe it was dry. What if it was a dry chicken? And you got no ketchup, so what do you do? And that's probably a Coke. It could be sugar. So it tastes like a syrup.
That is
weird,
to
isn't
me,
it?
That's just such a stretch. And I understand there's this term called functional fixedness in which you look at something and you're like, okay, it cannot be used in any way other than its prescribed way. Whereas the more creative you are, you have a tendency to see past, something's function and be able to use it in different ways. So maybe this lady is just incredibly creative. To her, I see
she
this.
She fixed the problem.
I see this as a water bottle, and she's like, oh, it's a water bottle and a toilet. So like she sees.
You had to go that far, right?
Well, see, I couldn't come up with another way that it could be used.
So when you watch her dip the chicken in, it seems like she's very comfortable with it. Like that's kind of what she
not
does.
The first time she's done that.
Because if I was doing it, I would have made a face like, I'm not sure. Oh my gosh. And then put it in like, oh, it's pretty good. But if it was a Dr. Pepper, that'd be pretty good. If you had nothing else to dip your chicken finger in.
All right, you need to text us 8772-RADIO-U or call. We need to know if there's anybody.
I think this is regional somewhere.
Is there a secret society of people that are people that dip their food in their soda? Like you guys, no one's come forward before. You've never said anything. Gosh.
You know what I think?
What?
I think it's an Atlanta thing, like where Coke is.
Hot
Coca-Cola.
Atlanta.
Maybe something like that.
They're
You're
like,
like,
hey,
oh
guys.
yeah, you always dip your chicken or something in the South.
Well, some people do that. Like they'll cook with Coca-Cola. Or
yeah, they'll cook. I had a family member who used to do ham with Coke because it's just sugar.
Right.
So you're just kind of putting a glaze on it.
So maybe it's like that. She's like, hey,
And if you tell us you do, it's a judgment-free zone, guys.
No, I mean, we're going to judge you, but, we need some people to judge.
We just have to know.
Chad in Pennsylvania texted in. He says it's like that Seinfeld episode where George eats the sundae at the U.S. Open. Oh, yeah, that's right. And he ends up on TV for that.
Does everybody watch?
Everybody sees him doing that. Okay, so, all right. So I'll tell you what, it's been a couple of minutes. I haven't heard from anybody that's out there dipping their chicken fingers in soda.
I don't think it's really done a lot. Because then it's just weird.
It's
just wet chicken.
I feel kind of like we need to go on a little scouting mission of our own, Nikki.
Try it out.
Nikki and Obadiah. Obadiah and Nikki.
Love, hate, love.
All right, everyone in, let's go!
It's the worst of the riot on RadioU. The Riot. Food fight.
Nikki and I discovered something terrifying in the break.
Which, if you join us at RadioU Riot or RadioU on our Facebook pages, we'll give you 1 second to click over. You can watch.
So we have realized that Tony the Tiger has no teeth.
Which is probably because they wanted the tiger to be less threatening.
No, I get that, but do you know how terrifying that is? They say that cats actually become
When
more,
you declaw them.
if you declaw them, they're actually meaner because they feel threatened. Tony has no teeth.
Does he show his hands? Does he have claws on his hands?
Well,
oh,
I
look,
can't-
look on the side. He keeps his fist.
It closed.
Yeah.
You don't see whether or not he has claws. In fact, I'm looking at the back. Somebody's job is to make all of this cereal art. That's their whole life.
That's a lot of people. That's a team right there.
They put all that
So
together.
for Tony the Tiger, do you see his claws anywhere?
No, you don't. He is the most non-threatening tiger in the history of tigers.
With a handkerchief, which my dog gets when he goes to the groomers. So I feel like the little handkerchief
You know what I
is
imagine?
something like that.
I imagine, you know that scene in Wreck-It Ralph where all the bad guys from all the video games come together for their support group?
Yeah.
I imagine a group of cereal mascots coming together, and Tony is always like, has to stand up and say, my name is Tony the Tiger, and I'm more than just a mascot.
So for what's the chocolatey?
They took my teeth!
What's the Count Chocula? Does he have his fangs?
He does.
He does.
They let the Count keep his fangs.
Well, what
Tony.
brand is that one? General Mills?
Yeah, it is. And this is a Kellogg's. That's the difference right there.
All right,
so an hour later, we
Taste
have
test
these,
time. After we've analyzed the box and everything.
we've got these pumpkin spice frosted flakes.
A lot of people sent us pictures and just wanted to make sure we knew that this was one of the most talked about fall food items of the 2018 fall season.
Do you think it actually smells like pumpkin spice?
I can't tell anymore. Pumpkin stuff?
It smells more like, what is that spice that goes with pumpkin?
Cinnamon?
No.
Nutmeg.
No.
Nutmeg.
Nutmeg, yeah.
Nutmeg.
It's got a real nutmeg and
But that's in pumpkin
cardboard
spice.
smell.
Well, that's the box.
That might be the box, actually.
So this is the Kellogg's pumpkin spice cereal.
Yeah, and
we're
the
going
only-
dry. We're going dry for
I
it.
couldn't find any. I found some heavy whipping cream.
Now it
And,
just tastes like a frosted flake. A little bit more of the pumpkin
Do you
spice
think-
on the back kick.
Do you think that we needed milk to unlock the flavor?
Probably. They're like, guys, you're not doing it right. No, a lot of people like cereal without milk. So they shouldn't have just made it like that.
I got a big family-sized box of chocolate Lucky Charms this weekend.
I know you like to snack on that.
Dude,
It's good, but it's not overwhelmingly pumpkin spice or pumpkin pie.
I'm still.
Waiting for it to show. It's very Frosted Flakes.
Do you? Okay.
Anything at all?
Am I crazy?
I smell it.
Do you feel like there's like an almost acidic undertone to it
Kinda.
in the aftertaste?
Yeah.
It's the pumpkin poison. I'm not kidding. I feel like the aftertaste has like an acidic quality to it.
If you're not a pumpkin pie spice person, that will not overwhelm you. So that's one that you can taste and eat till your heart's content and be fine with it, because it's not very pumpkin spicy.
It's not, though. I really do have to wonder, like with milk.
Would it be more?
Yeah, because maybe this has a coating on it.
Oh, and it comes off with the milk. Maybe,
Yeah.
but I would have thought we would have tasted a little bit more. So that's the pumpkin spice frosted flakes. It's not pumpkin pie. Technically, it's the pumpkin spice.
Well, I didn't have breakfast, so this will do.
It's not bad, though, for a morning show breakfast that we have to do with you guys.
I don't think it's good, but it's not bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Let's make my...
Just your best. You bring in your A game all the time. That was just your best right there. That's all you've got. Well, thank you for sending us again this item to try for the Riot food fight.
Sonny, you're the one that brought it in.
Well, they sent us pictures of it to make sure that we saw it. But yes, I'm the one who found it in the stores.
I was going to say, are you thanking yourself? Thank you to the hardworking person
who picked this up in the store and brought it in. Mm-hmm. Well, thank you goes a long way. So
Yep,
you're
right.
welcome.
Thanks, Nikki.
Keep eating. You're fine.
We all thank you.
If you were offended or disgusted by anything Obadiah said this morning,
If you weren't so dumb, I might be offended.
you must be new. You'll get used to it. The Riot on Radio U.
So, did you see the controversy over the weekend, Nikki? Because I know that you're such a huge fan of space movies.
What's the controversy then?
About the new movie First Man.
Okay. I did see where the flag was not shown or something.
They don't show them planting the flag.
Yes,
on the moon.
I did catch some of that.
And apparently they try to very much downplay the United States in this film and instead focus on it being, humanity.
Well, is that because they're going to push it to several markets?
Probably.
Yeah, they do that with movies, so that way they can show it and make money in other countries, but those other countries would be more willing to go see it if it wasn't so America-centric.
So
even though I believe it was us that was doing it.
Buzz Aldrin weighs in on the First Man. He puts in a bunch of he keeps tweeting pictures of astronauts on the moon with flags.
Really? Okay, so that's what he's doing.
He's just yeah, I was there. There were flags. I mean, and in fairness, historically, it is kind of funny because she's it's not really about America making it to the moon. It's really about mankind making it to the moon. It's well, if you go back historically, even though we said a bunch of mankind stuff, it was really about sticking it in the eye of everyone. We went and you didn't, so you suck.
That was kind of what was going on.
That
really was.
That really is a fairly historical, the president said. He went on TV and he was like, you suck, Russia.
So what is the title of that?
USA! USA!
What was the title of that movie?
It's called First Man.
First Man, okay. I think I've seen part of a trailer for it.
Well, and it doesn't even come out here until October 12th. So I guess it's showing at some festivals right now. Mm-hmm. And it's getting a lot of press. I looked at the trailer.
It's getting a lot of buzz.
You know that it is. I looked at the trailer. I think it actually...
the one guy...
I got it the first time.
Okay, good. Just making sure. I'm making sure everybody got it.
I wasn't drawing so much attention to it because well, the thing was that I thought it was really clever. I didn't want to take away from it by over paying attention to it.
I make sure everybody did get it.
Yeah, I mean, guys, Nikki made a funny, okay, and it was a good one. And we just want to say a big thank you to Nikki for being a part of this discussion.
USA.
Nikki was the first one.
That's right.
She did plant a flag, but I want you guys to know that we're not going to pay a lot of attention to it because
just ignore it.
We don't want to, take away from all women everywhere making the joke.
True.
So it's fine.
Well, if nothing, the movie's not out, so no one can go see it.
It's not until October. I looked at the trailer. I thought it's fine. I'm interested. I would say I'm interested in it, even though we all know in reality that Ryan Gosling has already done his best work. So it's fine.
Is Ryan Gosling in it?
Yeah, he plays Neil Armstrong in the movie. But if you really want to see Ryan Gosling's best work, it's his 2 Saturday Night Live shorts.
The Santa one?
Santa Baby and...
What's the other one?
It's the one that's about Avatar.
Oh, that's right. The font?
That's the best one.
The Riot. Turn it down.
And rip the knob off.
Radio U.
You might not have as much money as you would have had if you hadn't bought that 8K TV.
8K TV?
Mm-hmm. It's the new hotness. Samsung.
Not even the 4K, but the 8K.
Samsung says that this fall they're going to have,
the way?
In October, available commercially in the United States. You can go get an 8K TV.
I know at first you're like, well, why do you even care? That brings down the 4K TV prices.
I mean,
yay!
We hope that's what it means.
Well, I think it should. Those have gone down so much rather quickly. And
they really have.
Going into Christmas, that's still going to be something they're pushing. So 4K should be cheaper.
Yeah. Now, keep in mind, there's basically nothing you can watch at 8K.
I thought there was a couple sporting things, but maybe not.
There's
one or two things.
Yeah, I mean, it's just
not networks or channels, but actually 1 or 2 events. That's it.
Literally,
not
the
whole
files,
day.
2 video files that can be viewed
in 8K. Well, you got to start somewhere, but sports is where they'll usually start showing it in the next K.
Yeah. Well, I just want more Ks.
Still liking your 4K TV?
Actually, you know what? I'm having a great time with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm having a great time.
And you like your Apple TV? It does 4K?
Most of what I have watched in 4K has come from the Apple TV, where I have either bought or rented movies in 4K from them because they've got HDR and stuff. I'm excited about the fact that it's getting a significant audio upgrade sometime this month. It's supposed to be able to handle Dolby Atmos, which I think is cool. And I've been playing around with that. So yeah, I have enjoyed my 4K TV. I have. And it's not even, there are such better 4K TVs out there. Like I have, like it's a big one. It's 70-inch, but it's kind of low end as far as the nits and the thises and the that's. But I've still been enjoying it.
Seems to be good.
But I mean, Nikki, with a TV, they say it's diminishing returns, but it's a lie. You just get to a point where you need it to be bigger. So like right now, I've only got a 70-inch TV.
Bigger or better? Do you feel like you could ever go bigger than 70 inches?
Absolutely.
You can?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I mean, if they're telling me there's an 85-inch TV out there, well, obviously, I don't even want it. I need it.
I don't know where the line will be where you can no longer get it to your area and hang it up.
The line?
Is the door?
Yeah, Eric's got a good. Yeah, that's exactly
space.
right. As large as the wall.
A wall? Well, I thought
And
you were
then
supposed
I'm just going to need a new house.
No, but I thought you were supposed to, even if you have the wall space, if you're not back up enough, like, you have to make sure it fits the room. No, I'm not. No, what I'm saying doesn't make sense.
It fits the room.
It fits in the room.
It fit as long as it's no taller than the wall, because I don't want it tilted at an odd angle.
Fine.
Okay.
You guys have to be the ones to get it in anyways.
Yeah, and then sit in front of it and enjoy it.
Okay.
So, anything else?
No, it seems 8K will be eventually something they're trying to push at us.
Yeah. So, we'll need one this fall. So, we're going to do the RadioU fundraiser followed by Obadiah's 8K fundraiser.
8K in 8 days.
Thanks for listening to the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Oh no! I missed it! Do it again!
You can hear us live every day on the RadioU network through the RadioU app or at riot.radiou.com.
What sort of interesting twist will this gender bending create?